Hello, everyone. I am so excited about today's interview with a woman who has been in the tribe for, we'll have to find out, but a long time. We have seen her in many transformations, many challenges. We've seen her overcome challenges. She's had a huge tragedy that happened in her life and how she's overcome that. She's been such an inspiration to all of us, and she holds a very special place in my heart. And we will share why that is. So I'm going to bring her on. It's Anita. So let me bring her on. There she is. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Cold. It's cold here today. We're down to 9 degrees, but that's okay.
How many degrees?
9.
Woo!
Yes, it's chilly.
Well, I am so grateful that you're here. We've been chatting online and we've had lots of conversations, but I have been dying to get you on a live so that I can just chat with you about, your story and so much to talk about. So first of all, let's just start by sharing where you're from and how long you've been a part of the G-Fit tribe.
Oh, I've been a part of the G-Fit tribe for years. I was one of the first people, I think, to sign up for your G-Fit program.
Yes.
When you went to the app on where you started doing your downloading everything.
You've been there through the evolution.
Yes, 8-9 years. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I have to say, when I was going through some photos to share with everyone, it was just like, wow. Just the history goes so far back. So yeah, who knows how long? It's been a while.
It's my go-to. The G-Fit, it's my absolute go-to.
Oh, I love that. And where are you from?
Nothing else has worked. What was that?
Where are you from?
I am from Northport, Washington, which is not on the Seattle side of Washington. We're on the other side. I'm kind of by the Canadian border in Idaho.
Makes sense why it's so cold.
Yes.
Now, you are a mother of how many?
Well, I'm actually a mother of 5. 3 of them are young and adopted. I've adopted 3 little boys. My 2 children are grown in their 30s. But there's these 3 boys that, needed a home. So was that my plan?
And share a little bit about that. And how did you end up adopting the 3 boys? Are they brothers?
Cousins.
Oh, they're cousins.
Brothers, cousins. It's a little mix. I have a 12-year-old that I adopted years ago when he was 6 months. He's actually my daughter's. And
okay.
then I adopted 2 other boys that are cousins.
Those are those cuties right there.
And there's one little boy there that's my actual grandson. But
okay.
We're a mixed family, but it works well.
Well, it's been so fun to watch you. I mean, talk about no excuses. I have so many pictures and seen you just over the years, just doing what I've been doing, right? Making no excuses with your little ones. There they are right there in your home gym. And just such an example that, no excuses. And so it started out with you just being a busy mom, making no excuses, and then moving on into, the accident that you had. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into it, I have a special guest that wants to pop on and just say a few words before we get into your accident, what happened, how you overcame it, and all of that. So bringing on.
Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Oh my gosh. Hello.
Hi, Anita. Hi, Gina.
Oh, my goodness.
How you doing? I wanted to come on and I wanted to meet Anita because I felt like I've known her.
Well, I know. My heart went out to you with your accident as well.
Let me give your listeners a little scenario. About 1.5 years or so, I had a terrible car accident, and I broke my neck, one of the vertebrae. I can't remember which one, but I was in bad shape, and I thought I could do everything. You know how we are. No problem. I can do it. And I'm not kidding. I was a complete basket case. So
it's not fun.
Gina invited me to her home. I stayed about 2.5 weeks. and she did everything for me. I mean, everything, shower, whatever, because I was really helpless. Then she said, there's a lady that I know, and she had a terrible accident similar to what happened to you, and I've been talking to her, and she's saying, you know, in approximately, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4
3,
weeks.
that was the golden number for me,
Yeah.
really, 3 weeks.
And then, and I'm thinking, really, the way I feel now, I don't think anything's going to happen. But sure enough, in my mind, I was going, okay, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Sure enough, give or take a couple days, when that period came up, I started to feel better and I had more movement. And then Gina would say, I talked to her again, and now she's saying that, your neck brace will come off at a certain time. But anyway, it was great that you were instrumental in helping me out. And
I, you know, I was glad I was able to give some advice.
I
And
mean,
advice
sometimes,
back to Gina, so she gives me such advice.
yeah, it's great that when you have someone like, same thing in the fitness world or any, you want to have a goal. And, you know, and when you have that in your mind, like, okay, in 2, 3 weeks, I should be able to at least, walk or whatever. And then that goal was done, and you got another goal, just like what you guys are doing with the G-Fit fitness
Yes.
with the
Yep.
tribe. So I wanted to come on. I wanted to thank you
Oh my gosh.
for
Thank
helping out,
you.
and I want to wish you all the luck in your whatever
Big
you do.
2022 goals.
Yes.
And
2022.
that is really I don't know you, but I think that you seem like a special person,
Oh
and
gosh.
adopting those 3 boys.
Yes.
I mean, that's beautiful that you gave them
Well,
a nice, loving home.
well, thank you. And thank you. You're an inspiration. When Gina has you on and you're doing your squats with her, it's very encouraging.
Thanks.
you.
You're a very inspirational person
Thank
yourself.
you. Well, I'll be leaving now, and I'll be
Thanks,
watching. Have a great show. I'm gonna be watching, but I'll let you guys get down to business. So
Okay.
have a nice Christmas and a holiday season, and
You too.
I'll maybe I'll run into you one day. But
You
anyway,
never know. You
you never
never
know.
know.
I don't like.
Absolutely.
I'm not crazy about that cold weather, but
It's
okay.
cold.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, great to meet you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Anita, thank you. Oh, thank you, Anita, for the inspiration. And you truly, I mean, he just was in such bad shape, as he explained, but just like our communication back and forth, you were just, everything you said, it happened. And so just they want to thank you, and he wanted to personally thank you for that. So special place in our heart for the help.
Oh gosh, that was very nice. That was very nice.
So let's chat a little bit about, gosh, what a story you have, and what exactly happened.
Well, I'll make it quick. We have a ski boat. We live on the Columbia River, or Lake Roosevelt, and we spend a lot of time out on it. It was just today. It was actually our adult day. My husband and I, and just another couple that we're good friends with, went out and spent the day on the river. We just went wakeboarding or whatever all day, and we were heading home. And because of boat problems, our boat ran out of gas. We were out after dark. We're never out after dark, especially up here at the part of the Columbia River that we live on, where the boat launch is. There is a lot of rocks. We have a lot of rocks jutting out. But my husband knows the river really well, and I'm complete confidence in him and his boat driving. But with the sun going down, our perception was off on the water. We were up on plane. We were going towards the boat launch, and we hit rocks, and they were under, I think, about 3 inches of water, so we didn't see them. I was in the bow of the boat, sitting up in the very front, and it flipped me out and the boat ran over me and pushed me down into the rocks. I don't remember any of that, which I'm very thankful for. I do remember my husband finding me because it was dark and I was laying kind of in the water on the rocks. He found me and put me in the boat. It's very remote up here. It's very remote. So it took, about close to 45 minutes to an hour to even get to shore and for the ambulances to come and get me. I do remember laying in the boat with my friend holding my head and my neck because I thought I had broke my shoulder because that's where the pain was all down my shoulder. And I knew I'd broke my hand. I seen that and I was like, wow. I was just kind of laying there. They said I was in shock, but I remember it pretty clearly, just saying, wow, I really hurt myself. I just knew I had I've never broken a bone before, anything. And I just knew that I was in pretty rough shape. And until I got to the hospital, I didn't really realize how badly all the injuries were. It was,
and they were making sure that you were still right. Cause I know with my dad, like when he called me, he was in a position to where they didn't know how bad it was. They had to go through all of the CT scans and whatnot, because if he could have been paralyzed. We didn't know at that moment. Right.
Yeah. And luckily, my girlfriend she was holding me on her lap and holding my head still, but she was doing that, which was good because my scalp had been ripped. So she was kind of holding that. It was awful. But luckily she was holding me still. And then as soon as I got to shore and they got me out of the boat, they put a neck brace right on me. And it was funny because I kept saying, it's not my neck, it's my shoulder. I kept telling them, but that was why I had so much pain in my shoulder, was because it was my neck. And when they told me that in the hospital, I even remember laying there going, no, it's my shoulder. And they're like, no, it's your neck. That's why your shoulder hurts. It's amazing how pain will travel in a different spot. But it was very painful. And, I broke my hand and I smashed my foot and my knee. I said lots of lacerations over my head. I should have drowned. It's a blessing that I did make it through. I always say, well, those boys still needed me, I guess.
Right now on the outside now, after years have passed, because how many years has it been? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
just
about
going
3
into 3
years.
Yeah.
And now that, you would never know by looking at you. Are you fully recovered? 95%, 99, or 100?
I'll say 90, 98.
Okay.
99. I still, my neck gets stiff. This is funny. My one thing that I can't do is I cannot do push-ups. I cannot do push-ups, not unless they're on my knees. It's like my arms or I don't know. I was like, it's like I just can't do them anymore.
And you're okay with that? You're like, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
I do them on my knees. I'm okay. Yeah.
Wow, goodness. And so I want to show a couple photos because, you talk about no excuses and you are that example, but let me see here. A couple photos. So the first one I'm going to show is a little much. So cover your eyes if you don't cover your eyes if you don't want to see. This was on the hospital bed. This was that day, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Just, wow. And then a little bit better here. We have, this was how much longer after?
This was actually only about a week after.
Wow. Look at that recovery.
Yep. And that was my soft neck brace that I could only wear when I was pretty much taking a shower. So I had to wear that hard neck brace for a long time, for 3 months.
And to look back now, I'm sure you can remember exactly what was going through your head in that moment.
I didn't think, I even had some people tell me, that was my first squat. That was my first exercise. I was so scared. I was like, those days are over. And I was like, I can do a squat. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. Yep.
Well, and yeah, I had to, I mean, look at that. Talk about no excuses, neck brace and all, even if the squat wasn't as low as you, I mean, that's a pretty low squat there, but you took action. So Anita, let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, how did you move beyond that? So many people get stuck in their circumstance, right? I mean, how did you get yourself beyond that?
So pretty much the 3 weeks that I laid here on the couch in the recliner, that ran through my mind. I was like, oh, I had my dark nights and, basically the pity party. What have I done to myself? Oh my gosh, all those, fun exercise days or whatever over. But then I was like, I would look at my boys and I'm like, I just wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to go down that dark rabbit hole. And so, and this may sound corny or whatever, but I would get on my phone and get on and watch, the G-Fit, the app, all the ladies. And I'm like, I could get back there. These are just some injuries. I'm going to heal. After I went to all the specialists and they all said, you're healing fine. I went, okay, I'm healing. This was just a setback. Mm-hmm. I knew it was going to be baby steps, and it was.
You're okay with that?
But I just didn't want to be, I've never wanted to be that person that growing old just sits on the couch or cave in and, watch Netflix for hours on end. And I just didn't want to be that person.
Well, I
like it. I like exercising and I like getting out and I like keeping up with my boys and they're in sports. And I thought, I don't want to be left behind. I don't want them. I wanted to set a good example for them.
Well, and I just love that you took control, and I'm really big on that, like always taking control of your situation. And that might mean that you have to take baby steps, but that doesn't mean that you have to sit still. You can control your mind. You can control how you ate. And so many people throw in the towel when things happen. They're just like, okay, there goes the diet, there goes my exercise, there goes, the mindset just goes, right? It's like, it's a domino effect. And so taking back that control of what you can control in that moment. And it sounds like you did exactly that. I have this, I did. I have this, so I wanted to gather some photos and you probably don't even remember this, but you're talking about your boys. And here's a little screenshot that I took. It was a Friday. My flex is with my Y. I decided when I took on raising a pack of boys, 3.5 of them, one is part-time in my 50s, that I would not let them down. I would not sit on the sidelines because of my age or injury. I will always try to be right there beside them, encouraging them, running, jumping, and whatever else they need from me. One quick shot, they do not hold still, no photo prepping or do-overs. And there you go. You said it right there. And so that was your why. I'm sure you looked at them every day. And what an example you've left for them.
Oh, I think we're buffering. Hold on. There we are.
There you are. So now looking back,
okay.
I know that you're there now looking back. Okay. Cause I know that when you're in dark, when you're in this tragic time, I'm really big on finding the positive, finding the blessing. And it's the whole amor fati, right? Love your fate. And I know that's a hard thing for people to understand because it's like, well, how can I love that I almost died? How can I love the situation? How can I love that this tragic thing happened? And so I want to know you. How would you say that you love your fate now because it's what you truly found the blessing and the beauty in this accident?
Yeah, I think you were kind of breaking up there, but definitely I found a lot of blessings that came out of it. It's, seeing a different side to my husband, who's very, I don't know, tough redneck type, to see the vulnerable side of him taking care of me and the boys. And just, oh gosh, to find your strength that you don't think you have.
Right.
I just really didn't think that I was that strong of a person until after this. And there were moments that I didn't think I was strong. There's still days that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how people do this, juggle this lifestyle and do it all and keep up. But I don't really know how to explain it, but I do know that I came out of it a stronger person.
Right. And I think what I'm hearing too is that, you have your days, you have your moments, like we all do, right? We have
Oh yeah.
little moments of, oh my gosh, this is a lot. How do people do it? How am I going to get through this day? But it's then checking yourself and taking control again of your mind that can go off, and remembering, like how short life can be and how all we have is this present moment. And
Yep.
so I think that's kind of what I'm hearing from you is that yes, you have those days, but to be able to gain that strength back and then move forward on your day is huge.
One thing I found out is that I only have to keep up with me and not with everybody else. I've learned a lot of shortcuts because there has been times, and I know that other people get like this. They're like, I can't do this program anymore. I can't, this lifestyle is too much for me. It's too much work. I have been there so many times, but I've learned that I don't have to be exactly like, somebody else that's doing this program. I can find my own shortcuts, my own way to do it. And I have, and they work. So it's a good thing.
Do you remember this one, Anita?
Yes. Yeah.
This was 3 Christmases ago, and look at you with that strength. And I saw as I was browsing, I don't see it right now, but there was a picture of you with your mirror, and it said you versus you.
Yep. It
just goes to show that all of these things that you're talking about have just been enforced and ingrained in who you are, which is why you're such a success in everything that you do.
Yeah, that took a long time for me to decide it was me versus me, and not me versus everybody else or what I was seeing or what I was looking at. Comparing myself to other people, I'm not 30. I'm not 25. I am in my 50s. I do feel young. I think I do pretty good. But so many of us just compare ourselves to others. And I was so into that role of comparing myself to others that it completely slowed me down.
Was it the accident that kind of shifted that for you?
That shifted me big time. Yes, absolutely. I always thought that I wasn't very strong, but then I actually had some of my friends up here and some ladies that came and visited me, we have a very small community and we're very tight. But some ladies my age just said, I would have never lived through that. I would have never lived through it. It's just because you're so fit and you're in such good shape. I'm like, really? I guess I just never seen myself as being that fit. But it is that I do accredit this lifestyle and how active we are as to part of my healing. Absolutely. I don't think I would have healed nearly as fast or nearly as well.
Well, and I would say, like, looking back, wouldn't you say that it's like the challenges that we take on the challenges that we take on that really cultivates that champion mindset that I talk about that makes you like dig a little bit deeper or to prove that you're capable of doing big things. Would you say that that's really what kind of helps you move forward?
Oh yeah, I remember my first New Year's challenge that I did 5-6 years ago that I actually completed. I actually did the whole thing, and I think it was my second year that I did the challenge, and I did it from beginning to end, and I finished it, and I seen those amazing results. I was like, wow, it wasn't that hard. Yes, yes, that's it. Oh my gosh.
There it is.
My very first one. And it was amazing. And that lit a fire in me. I mean, I was like, it works. And it was just the most amazing feeling I remember to finish that. And that's why I look forward to the challenge every year.
Big one for you.
Yes, I kick myself because I slack off in the summer. I'm still working on that. but I don't beat myself up over it. I do, I don't know why winter is good for me as far as staying on track. It's those summer months. I tend to
deviate a little bit.
Yes, I do, but not bad.
You're getting better, and every year you're getting better.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's funny because so many people come into the challenges or come into this lifestyle and they just assume that they're doing it for the physical reasons. But, seeing and hearing your story, it's like, yeah, you took on these challenges. You've changed your mindset over time. And it's just beautiful to see through, the actions you had, how now looking back, you're like, wow, I didn't think I could get through that. And those ladies that are telling you that you can't get, that maybe they wouldn't have been able to do it, potentially they don't have that same mindset. I can do this. And if I can do this, I can do that. And if I can do this, wow, I can do that. So when you found yourself in your situation, you kind of started to bring those things back up of like, I can do hard things. I can get past it. Start taking it just one day at a time.
Yep. I didn't think I'd ever be able to jog again. I'm not too big of a runner anymore. I used to run more. But I do like to go out and jog. And that was one thing, the way I had, crushed my foot is like, I've never, what if I'm not going to be able to even get on my treadmill? I was just so worried about that. But yeah, I'm back on it and I can jog. Not as far as I ever did before, but
we'll take it. So what would you say are your biggest challenges now when it comes to fitness?
Time.
So how do you do it with your boys? How do you make time for yourself, Anita?
Get up earlier. Set the alarm clock a little earlier. And I have learned that when I come home in the morning and I have about an hour before I go to, I'm helping teaching preschool right now. So I have about an hour and I come in and I've learned that I'm just going to do my workout. I'm going to do it. And I've realized that I can even do it in my work clothes. I don't have to go get all my fitness clothes on. And I just get it done. And, I'll do the dishes later, even if that's because I used to, always put it on the back burner and then I would not like myself because I put it on the back burner. So and you can get it done quickly following your little workouts. So they're quick.
You just got to do it, right? You just have to do it is the bottom line, because over time, if you let too much time, then you have all these excuses and everybody needs you. So what is on your mind, you just have to do it.
And that's, what I used to do. I used to come in and go, oh, I've only got an hour. I don't have enough time. Yep. I don't, the kids and the laundry. I'm like, you just kind of make it work. You just jump right into it.
What's your priorities?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what's really helped me. And I know it sounds like for you too. And for our listeners out there, it's like, you have to know what your priority is. And then, I like to have the house clean and the laundry done and me done and all those things. But when there's only so much time in the day, you have to just kind of prioritize and be like, that can wait. This can wait. I don't like it, but I need to do me first in order. Right?
Yeah. And it's still there. That's what I've learned. It's still there. It's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
But my fitness is going. That's when I realized that if I put that on the back burner, that will go.
And you'll get the laundry done. You're going to get the kitchen done. You're going to get everything done, but you're going to be like, at least if you get you done, then it's a lot more manageable. Anita, you talk. Oh, I said everything's going to get done, but if you don't do you first, you're going to be like, as you get things done. So you may as well just, right? Like, because it makes you a better person. It makes you able to handle all those other things.
Yep, got to do you first.
So you mentioned a little bit. Go ahead.
My phone.
Can you hear me?
Like I said, I live way out I'm surprised we're even getting this good a service.
Hey, it's meant to be. We're connected. You talk about self-sabotage, and that tends to be a little bit of an issue with you. Talk to me a little bit about that. You self-sabotage yourself, like maybe you're getting good results and then there's a little bit of self-sabotage. I know a lot of women deal with that.
I self-sabotage a lot. I I will see it. I'll be on a roll. I'm going and I'm seeing the results, and I'm actually loving the results. And then this is what I tell myself: I did so good for 2 months. Look at how good I look. So yeah, I'm going to go, and I don't need to be so strict on it anymore. And then 6 weeks later, I look up and go, seriously? You know, it's, I have a hard time following it consistently.
Yep. That seems to be a common issue.
Yeah.
And is it because you self-sabotage and then that one event, that one meal turns into multiple and you just can't get back on track?
I'm just trying to hear. It's not, I can't hear you very well. I'm moving around because I can't hear you very well.
Okay, it's okay. Can you hear me now?
I can't. It's just staticky for some reason.
I was just saying, is it because you have one meal and then it turns into 2 and 3 versus getting back on?
Yes. Yeah. And I will say the BLTs, because my children and, my husband, they totally, especially my husband, he supports, my lifestyle, my G-Fit lifestyle. He completely supports that. But they don't eat like that. They are,
Meat eaters.
I can hear my little ones. They're in the back room. They're meat eaters. They're meat, potatoes. My husband, he grew up on a farm, and it's meat, potatoes. And that's the way the boys, they eat. And I try not to, but those BLTs sometimes, I'm like, ooh.
Well, it definitely is harder when not everyone's eating the same way as you are.
Right. No.
So now 2022 is coming up. So let's talk about, what are your goals? Have you thought about a word? How are you going to elevate in this next year?
Well, gonna do the challenge, of course. I have found some new, different, well, they're not really new recipes that work better for me.
Mm-hmm.
As far as keeping on track and more consistent, frozen vegetables. So I was always big on fresh vegetables, and I live 45 minutes away from the nearest fresh vegetable to buy. So I would run out of fresh vegetables, and so then I'm like, I'm out. I got nothing. So I've been buying bags of frozen vegetables, throwing them in that Instapot that's on top of my refrigerator. You probably see that I use all the time now. Throwing my chicken in there. I just made things easier for myself, and realizing the international egg whites. I love those. They ship right to my house. I have just simplified my eating, instead of trying to think I have to make all these big recipes for myself, because I don't have time.
I think that also comes back to like the you versus you, because a lot of ladies do get super creative, and a lot of ladies do have a lot of time, right? Lots of different things. And so you could easily jump in and be like, oh, I have to do all these things to be successful. When in reality, keeping it simple tends to be the best thing for many people. Not me. Back in the day, I used to prepare all kinds of creative things, and now I've simplified, other than when I share the recipes. But I really keep things simple, and I found that to be really helpful for my consistency over time.
Right. I'm trying to. This connection is not very good.
It's okay. I can hear you just fine.
We're making it work.
We're doing it because we love technology.
I know, right? Yes.
So keep it simple.
Keep it simple. There has been so many times that I have way overthought this program, or even the food. That was one of my main fallbacks, especially when it comes to the food. The exercising, I love that. I'd love to do the exercising and the circuits, the one and done. I love those. That wasn't my problem, and eating the food really wasn't the problem. I like the food. It's the making it, and where I go wrong is by the end of the day. I am spot on all day with my meals and I enjoy them. And then when dinner comes and I'm tired, the boys are home and we're usually running to sports functions and basketball and baseball, and we're stopping to get pizza on the go, and I'm like, no, no, no. But then I'm like, oh, I'm tired. When I get home, what am I going to have? What am I going to have? Do I have anything ready? So then I just end up eating whatever they're having, which is never what I should be eating. And then I'm mad at myself afterwards.
Right. And then it starts the cycle.
Yes. And then it starts the cycle. So I struggle with, that's my worst meal, I think, is dinner time. I am better. I have learned that, hey, if I get home from a basketball game and they're mowing down on their pizza that they grabbed, I'll just make up some egg whites.
Well, I'm excited for you because we're right around the corner is the New Year challenge. I was excited to see that you were excited that we're going to put it off in 2 weeks.
Yes.
So that we could do everything you're saying, really get you prepared, lay that foundation.
Yep, I'm preparing. I'm already thinking of my meals and, going shopping and getting everything ready, getting, Christmas completely out of the way, getting the kids, back in school and getting the routine down. And I think, I've got a lot of great ideas for myself of how I'm going to stay on track.
I love that. So I'm going to give you one little reminder.
I know.
This is your own inspiration, okay? And you had such great success on that first plan, so you're going to rock it. And now you have all of the lessons from your accident to now carry forward. And I'm going to encourage you, Anita, to pop into the group a little bit more because you do, and then, but now this is you're on fire now. It's my favorite time of year for these challenges, right? And use the group to help inspire you, and also you inspire others of, I've done all this, but this is what's working for me. These bag of green beans, these are working for me. Because, to be honest with you, a lot of times the organic frozen is sometimes fresher, or not fresher, but has more vitamins than the fresh ones, because over time the fresh vegetables start to lose their nutrition. So when they get frozen, right when they're fresh, it's actually sometimes better to eat the frozen. So there you go. It's a win-win. You don't have to go to the store all the time. You've got your frozen vegetables. You've got your go-to free foods. They're better for you. So there you go.
I was always so against the frozen vegetables. Even, and I've learned canned green beans. I always keep a stock of canned green beans because in the thick of things, in the hurry, you can just open up a can of green beans. Even I'm like going, I used to think, oh gosh, they're in a can. That it just can't count. But in a pinch, it works. And I've learned that, in a pinch, it's okay.
Yep. And you know what? If it's going to keep you on track, then that's going to be the best choice.
And the easy choice I say that for the busy moms or maybe the busy moms that work all day as well. Just don't, like I used to, don't overthink it. Just keep it simple, keep it easy.
I'm kind of thinking, I'm not telling you what your word is, but if I had to claim a word for you, I'd say kiss. Kiss. Keep it simple.
Very simple. Yep.
I love that. Well, Anita, thank you so much. You've been such an inspiration. I mean, talk about keep it simple. Look at this, Anita. You remember this? Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You've been around a long time doing all the things. You have all of the tools. Now it's just pulling it together again, like you always do. And this time, a better, stronger, wiser version of you. You're going to nail it in 2022.
I'm hoping so, and I'm excited for the challenge. I don't know why I always get so excited for that New Year's challenge. I just go right into it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. In November, I don't think I was for some reason. Maybe it was a little gloomy or something. I almost went, I don't even think I'm going to do the challenge this year. But that's right out, gone. And it helps getting on, like I said, getting on the G-Fit and posting and watching everybody else's posts. That has always encouraged me. I love watching the ladies, and I love watching the changes that people go through.
Absolutely.
It's encouraging.
And posting, if you're having any of the struggles too, I think sometimes people don't want to always post the struggles, right? But those struggles help other people, to be able to come up with solutions along the way. So I encourage that as well.
Because you're surprised at how many people actually go through the same struggles that you do. I mean, right now, I have another G-Fitter. She's not on too much, Kelly Gulaminio. She just sent me a message that said, good luck. We talk a lot, and we're both, her and I, she won't mind if I share this, we're both going through, menopause, and we bounce things off each other constantly. And it's, that's a hard time in life. And
absolutely,
some harder than others, I get it, but to have somebody to bounce it off of helps. And that's the same thing with reaching out in the G-Fit, and posting. You will see that other people post, oh gosh, I'm feeling that same way. I'm feeling that same anchor on my ankle that's keeping me from moving forward.
And also providing solutions of, I'm doing this and this is helping, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, one thing I'm going to tell you, ladies, is that being consistent with our lifestyle will definitely help with those symptoms and help you move through this. Removing the sugar, all of the things that we're doing, not saying that you're going to get rid of them completely, but I just know from my experience, not personally, but helping other people that, getting your water in place. So it's more reason to do the challenge and do it full. There's no reason not to, because not only are you going to feel the difference with the menopausal symptoms, but you're just going to feel more in control. You're going to see the body changes. I mean, it's just encompassing everything. So I'm excited to see you ladies just crush it during the new year. And, just like my dad said, Anita, having that goal, just like when I competed, I always use that as an example, but having that 12-week goal, I got to get on stage in a suit, or having a 6-week goal, or having the 3-day goal of, okay, I get to shower and remove my neck brace, right? Those are all those mini goals that keep you focused.
Goals. That I'm trying to teach that to my 12-year-old. Well, he's going to be 12 in a couple of weeks. Set your goals. He's in basketball. He's big into fitness for a 12-year-old. And Gina, it's funny because he likes to, he follows a lot of your circuits. And I work with him, and I always tell him, because he goes into circuit training at the school in the morning. And I always tell him, because you know how boys can be. And now keep your weight small. You're only 12. Keep it small. 5.
Check the ego, son.
High school boys. And I'm like, don't ever give up your form for heavier weight, because you'll end up hurting yourself. And he always says, you learned that from Gina, didn't you? And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Yes.
Did you tell him he's on his way to being a legend?
Well, I'll have to tell him that too.
Keep the weight small. Check the ego at the door. Focus on your form. Mind muscle connection. You're going to be a legend.
Yep. Oh, I told him that before too. Leave your ego at the door. I said, don't go in there thinking, in the weight room with all the high schoolers and think that you're going to be lifting like them. I said, all you're going to do is hurt yourself. And then you're going to be disappointed and you're not going to want to do it anymore.
Yep. He's going to avoid all those injuries, and everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing.
I know. I said, don't be afraid of those 5-pound weights. That's okay. You'll see results.
So here's what you need to tell him. When he gets a little bit older, and he has his friends come over and they start making fun of him with the light weights, put the light weights in the friend's hands and tell him to rep out 100. Don't stop. 100 reps. Do 5-pounders, 10-pounders, whatever it is.
That's a fabulous idea.
Yep. Gets him every time. Well, thank you, Anita. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your amazing story. I mean, you've just been such an inspiration. And I couldn't find the one of you walking on the treadmill.
Oh, I know. I don't know if I have that one anymore. I remember that.
You would just post you staying in action. And every time it was like, wow. And you just never know who you're inspiring. I mean, to this day, you inspire me daily, to see you still stay in action and to take all of the G-Fit methods that we use and just practice them. It's one thing to have them and not use them, but to actually to see them in motion of one step at a time, focus on what you can control and how you've overcome something that really could have put you out.
It could have. It could have. And that's, like I said, I count my blessings every day that I am able to get back on the treadmill, that I'm able to do the circuits, get out and enjoy life. And it just makes me appreciate more, well, you know, what you do by throwing this out, this way of lifestyle that you share with people. It really is amazing. I mean, anybody can go to to the store and buy a little video of abs in 8 weeks and try to do it and then be so disappointed because there's nothing else brought to the table. But with you bringing everything that you do, not only the fitness aspect of it, but the meals, the nutrition as a whole, just the whole lifestyle, it clearly changes people. It really does. So we're very thankful for what you bring.
Thank you so much, Anita. And I'm just really excited to see you thrive in 2022. And like I said, to take all of your blessings, and I just want to give you a big hug for seeing the beauty in something that, I know is really hard in the time, but now to look back, and that you got the soft side of your husband.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's sweet. That alone, right? Because it's like to see the soft side of those like 100 men that like are in the men's zone. Like, that's precious.
Well, thank you.
Right. But yeah, I'm excited to watch you thrive, and I can't wait to see you in the tribe a little bit more. In your spare time, whatever that looks like for you, and just continue to share because you're constantly inspiring others.
Okay. Well, thank you, and thank you so much for having me on. And I hope, I'm not very good at speaking, but hopefully I got some of my inspiration across, I'm hoping.
Oh my gosh, you're a pro. Thank you, Anita. Okay, I'll see you in the chat. Okay. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it, Anita. She has just been such an inspiration to so many, including my dad. You saw him pop in there, and just watching her, so when you have those days where you feel like you can't keep going, or you have those days where you feel frustrated and mad because of whatever's happening in your life, keep going. Think about Anita, think about other people that are that literally potentially maybe you have a bad day and you just like things are happening. Maybe you're tired, whatever it is. Think about people that actually like physically can't do the things that you can do, right? And just to see her and just how she's taken all of the mindset work and putting into helping her recover. And the beautiful thing is, ladies, is to see amor fati, right? To see the beauty in tragedy, to try to find the beauty in the darkest days, and to say, well, if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened. Or because of this, now I'm stronger. Now I know my inner strength that I have within myself. And now to have that, like that is just the most magical, beautiful thing. And so I'm really excited to watch her thrive in 2022 and to continue to use all of this inner strength to just skyrocket at any age, right? People use age as an excuse. We don't. No, not today. So anyways, have an amazing day, ladies. I can't wait to get another one of you incredible ladies on to share your story. We all have a story and it inspires so many people. So until next time, have the best day ever, and we will chat soon.